Okay, this video takes you through the steps of creating your own annoying fruit in Photoshop. So to start with, we need to take a selfie. We've done this before. Remember, to get to the camera app, you can search right down here. CAM should be enough to find the camera app. You'll need to make sure you have a webcam plugged in and ready to go. Hello. We just need to take a close-up of our face, and I do want you to get nice and close to the camera for this one so that you really can see like the eyes and teeth and everything. And I do suggest like smiling with teeth open because that really can make this look pretty good. So again, you're going to get really close. Once you got your selfie, you should be happy enough. You can just close this out. Remember, they save automatically to your camera roll. So now we need to go into Photoshop. I've got mine open here, but remember, you can click on the little window and all apps and then find Photoshop right there. Once you're inside, you are going to open that selfie. So go to open, and remember, it saves automatically in your pictures and then in your camera roll. Double click to get inside. That's the last one I took. I'll open it up. Once you've got that image, now we need to go find your images that you want to put as your object. So I'm going back to our Google, and then you've got this link right over here to get to images. So now when we're at Google Images, now you need to search for whatever fruit or object that you want to do. I haven't done one with a baseball yet, so I think I'm going to do one with a baseball. But again, you can search for whatever fruit or object you're looking for. This is a really helpful tool. Let's just say I like this one right here. I can click on it, and over here you can actually see how many pixels it is. And this is actually a very large image, over 1,000 on each side. If you ever see either of these legs of the pixels at, like, say, under 300, that's just going to tell you that it's a really small image. A really helpful thing that you can do is if you look under Tools, you actually have this option to search for size, and you can actually choose search for large sized images. So when you click on that, now you can see that almost all of these images are going to be larger in size. You're not going to have a little tiny thumbnail if you're searching for large. So again, I'm going to click on that one I like. I need to save it, so I'm going to do a right click on this larger image here, right click, and I'm going to save image as. I'm going to save it to my downloads folder, and I'm going to save. There we go. So now it's saved to my downloads folder, and I can go back to my Photoshop, and I'm going to go up here to File and Open, and now I'm going to go into my downloads folder, and I'm going to open up that baseball. You can see now I have two tabs in Photoshop. I've got my selfie here, and I've got my baseball there. So now I can go to my selfie, and I'm going to start taking my selections. Today we are using just this lasso tool right up here. There's lots of different ways of selecting, but the lasso tool is a freehand selection. So I'm just going to click and drag around. Be kind of careful. I want to get my eyebrow in there, and there's my first eye. So you can see the little marching ants that go around. That shows you what the selection is. And when it's selected, you can just do Control-C on your keyboard. Control-C will copy it. Nothing really happens, but it's copied. Now I can jump back over to the baseball tab and do Control-V. Now my eye comes in, and I can do Control-T to change its size. But I do want to point out, did you see how this is a really sharp edge? Like it's like here's the baseball, and then there's a sharp edge onto this eye. I'm going to go back and show you one other thing that you can do while you're making your selection. So I'm going to actually delete this one. And I'm going to go back, and I'm going to deselect that. I'm actually going to come up here when I'm on the lasso tool. Up above it has feather. I'm going to actually change that to feather to 5 pixels. And what that does is it'll just sort of like a spray paint brush. It'll just kind of be a little bit feathery edge to it. So now I'm on there. I've got my 5 pixels. I'm just going to do another selection. Control-C copy. Control-V paste. And then Control-T, which allows me to transform it. So I can change its size, I can actually come out of that box and I can rotate it, and I can move it to where I want it to be. So I'm going to put my eye up here maybe. Now I'm going to go back over, I'm going to deselect, and you can do Control D to deselect, or click right there. I'm going to select my other eye. Okay. Control C copy, Control V paste, Control T to transform. This one's there. This one's up here. Control T, a little bit bigger maybe. And then back over. I'm going to deselect, Control D, and then I'm going to select my nose. Control C copy, Control V paste, Control T to resize. Finally, I'm going to go over and get my mouth. Control D deselect. I've got a beard, so I'm going to get a little bit more of my face here. That. And again, Control C copy, Control V paste, Control T to move it around. Do a little bit like that. And again, these are the ideas that you're looking for. The last thing I want to show you is that if you're taking these selections and your different layers, you can actually turn off the layer on and off. That eye comes on and off. And you can actually give them a name right here too. So I could do this left eye. And I could do this one right eye. Or whatever you might want to label them as. It does help when you are moving things around or editing things later to have an idea of what you are actually doing with each layer here. Just a reminder, to save at the end, you need to go to File, down to Save As. You do need to make sure you're on that Photoshop version so that we can come back to it, and we're sending it to our Downloads folder. This is okay. This is just showing you that it's a really large file, and that's okay. It's a Photoshop file that's keeping all those layers and all that information, so it's always okay to click OK right here.